Good afternoon. My name is Brian Applegate, and I am the fire investigator that responded to 1234 Main Street in Hometown for a structure fire. The fire department was dispatched around 11 o'clock for a reported residential structure fire. And when they arrived on the scene, the first and engine company noticed a working fire with fire and smoke blowing out of both kitchen windows, as it was described by the lieutenant. Once the fire was extinguished, the fire department incident commander requested that Hometown send their fire investigators to the scene to conduct a fire investigation. That's when I responded to the scene. Upon my arrival, I did see a one-story single-family home. The fire was out on my arrival, and I met up with the lieutenant from the fire department, Dan Taylor, who explained to me that when they arrived, they saw a working fire out of both kitchen windows. They said it was spreading to the living room area, but they wound up being able to keep it in check, which means stopping it basically from moving from one room to another, and they kept it into the room of what we call the room of origin, is where the fire started, or where they think the fire started. So the fire was extinguished. On my arrival, all the utilities were secured, so all the power, all the water, the natural gas, all of those utilities were controlled. And what I did was I did an exterior survey of the building, so I just did a 360-degree survey. And just looked for any damage, any holes in the roof, any doors that were broken open that weren't supposed to be, any windows that were broken that weren't supposed to be. There was no signs of foul play, in my opinion, from the exterior. The only thing I noticed was heavy fire damage out of the two windows that the lieutenant from the engine said that they saw fire coming out of on their initial arrival. So after my 360-degree survey, after not noticing really anything too crazy or looking like signs of foul play, I did an interview with the homeowner, Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Williams said that she was cooking breakfast for her family. She had a pan of bacon on the stovetop, and then took a phone call from one of her friends. At this time, when she was engrossed in that phone call, she wound up smelling some smoke. She didn't really know why she would be smelling smoke like that. She went inside to investigate that and found a burning pan on her stovetop that was on fire. What she did then was immediately called 911 and exited the structure with her family. And then the fire department showed up to put the fire out. On my initial investigation, I did observe heavy fire damage within the kitchen area. More so, all the smoke and fire patterns, they look to point back to the stove area. If you look in the photographs that were supplied for you as Exhibit A, B, and C, you'll see that there's noticeable calcification that is near the left front burner of that stove, which indicates that there is very high heat, that there was direct flame impingement in that area. And you can see that once that area was looked at more definitively, that more on the left side was more so damaged than any other area on the stove. You'll also notice in the photograph that there was no fire spread into the adjacent areas, so there's what we call a clean area. So there was a inspection hole performed, or an inspection hole that was overhauled, that showed no extension beyond the kitchen area. We also saw visible fire patterns that would indicate that the stove was indeed the culprit of the fire. You can also see that the left side front burner is annealed. So basically that's flat. That indicates really high heat. And there was no other significant evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that would indicate otherwise, that this fire was an accidental fire. It was caused by unattended cooking. And by the burn patterns, the smoke patterns, the witness statements, and investigator professional opinion, this fire was indeed accidental. and it was due to unattended cooking. Thank you very much. And if I can provide any further information, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.